But first, the game everyone's talking about. You know the deal. Little guy, beanie cap, big sword, silky pants, major attitude. You got it. Take it away. Welcome, Street Rat. Prepare to enter a 16-meg game set in a little city of mystery and enchantment that features 10 levels of animated video game adventure. Disney, Sega, and Virgin have rubbed a magic lamp and transformed an ordinary Sega Genesis cart into a wondrous place for you and me. Now, let's conjure up a little magic of our own and check out the all-powerful Aladdin creators in action.
You get what is essentially an animated feature film in a Sega cartridge. You're going to see the Aladdin movements, all the characters that were in the movie animated in the same way that they were animated in the movie by Disney Animation, using their skills.
Using a revolutionary programming technique, Disney animators transformed a Disney film into a video game format, the likes of which you've never seen before.
We had about 50-plus people, which included animators from Disney Feature Animation, our background artists, working with the Sega testers. The characters were all done by traditional feature film animation. This is the first time that a game player will be able to control a fully animated character in a completely animated world.
As beautiful as Aladdin is to look at, it's also a treat for your ears, with tunes from the movie including A Whole New World, One Jump Ahead, and A Friend Like Me.
Disney was really great. They gave me the freedom, they gave me the soundtrack, they said, here you go. So my goal was to make the Genesis sound like no other game ever before, very orchestral. I made the Genesis sound like a 40-piece orchestra.
So come closer and let's examine this 10-level, multi-scrolling romp through Agrabah, the desert, the Cave of Wonders, and the Sultan's Palace. You play Aladdin, a street rat, a diamond in the rough, in one-player action-adventure style gameplay that includes many humorous twists and turns. Aladdin runs, jumps, ducks, tosses apples, swings a sword, climbs ropes, swings hand over hand across clotheslines, and of course rides a magic carpet. Aladdin is naturally trying to capture the heart of Princess Jasmine and foil the evil Jafar and his henchmen. The Aladdin story is timeless. Aladdin the movie is a surefire animated classic. Aladdin the video game looks poised to cast its own special brand of on-screen magic. That's one street rat who sure can handle himself, but I'd like to see how he does down here. I'm at Earthquake, the big one, and it's like an 8.3 on the Richter scale. I can't wait to get aboard. Come on. I feel like I'm on stage 7 of Star Fox. I'm getting blown away here. And here's some tips and tactics to blow you away.
In space, no one can hear you scream. But Alien 3 for the Super Nintendo is so tough you'll want to scream. Hang in there, though, because you can use these passwords to stick Ripley into any level in the game. Level 2, Question. Level 3, Mastered. Level 4, Motorway. Level 5, Cabinets. Level 6, Squirrel. Wham! Slam Crunch! WWF's Royal Rumble for Super Nintendo takes it to the mat for an all-out, foot-stomping, totally back-breaking brawl. But hey, it's great fun. This easy rumble trick is just for fun, too. It enables you to slow down the background on the Wrestler Select screen. When the Wrestler Select screen appears, press button L once. To stop the screen altogether, press button L 2 times. To speed the background up, press button R once. To make it go super fast, press button R 2 times.
Military pressing. Scott Taylor. And swoop. And swoop. And swoop. My gosh, it looked like Taylor just fell out of a building.
T2 Genesis fans, listen up. Here's how you can put the Terminator into the arcade level of your choice with an easy level select code. When the title screen appears, press up, down, left, right. Up down, left, and right. If you've done the trick correctly, you'll hear the word excellent.
Excellent.
When you begin play, simply press start to pause the game. Then, simultaneously press buttons B and C to skip the stage. You can use this trick to skip to the stage of your choice. Now, before we say hasta la vista, baby, here's that level select code once more. When the title screen appears, press up, down, left, right. Up, down, left, and right. You'll hear the word excellent.
Excellent.
Okay, that's great. Now, when you begin play, simply press start to pause the game. Then simultaneously press buttons B and C to skip the stage. Now use this trick to skip to the stage of your choice.
It's good to be back on solid ground and in very good company. Thank you, I appreciate it. We're here at one of the Hollywoods... Thank you. We're here at one of the back lots here at Universal Studios, Florida. Thanks a lot, Charlie. And there's about 50 of these back lots just like this one, and just as amazing. But now it's time to kick some street fighting butt, and we've got all the fist-clenching, street fighting action. Take a look. Everybody loves a butt-kicking brawl, and the 12 terrifying martial art menaces of Street Fighter II sure know how to deliver. You know Street Fighter II is one of the hottest games around. In fact, kids across the nation are competing in gigantic street fighting tournaments. That's right, we're talking hot.
It's the best game that's ever been. Everybody I know thinks this is the best game.
It's just fun. You better believe, once the games got underway, the action kicked in big time. So what are you waiting for? Get out there and kick some street fighting butt.
Coming up on GamePro's Power Up, more tips and tricks, the Mortal Kombat Zone, plus X-Men and Jordan vs. Bird when we continue from Universal Studios, Florida.
You know, one of my favorites, all-time favorites is... Oh! Hey, that's not bad. You like it? I like it, but what about this one here? Oh!
Welcome back to Universal Studios, Florida. We're at the Guys, excuse me. We're at the Wild Wild West Stunt Show, and it's incredible. These guys are doing it. Guys, you want to keep it down? Doing a show here. It's incredible. They're putting on a great show, and these guys are pretty tough. You know, they think they're tough, but I'll tell you what tough is.
Talking to me?
You want to talk tough? Let's talk about the X-Men. Let's shift into X-Men mode now. But first, this. Don't mess with the host, guys. How about this? We were lucky enough to be invited behind the scenes at Marvel Comics to take a look at how two of my favorite comic books are created, Spider-Man and X-Men.
I think the thing that makes characters like that really work is that they're just so different. They're very human. They're very quirky. They're just more than two-dimensional pictures.
The way we create the storylines is it's very collaborative. Editors may think of a storyline they'd like to see embellished or clarified, or a writer might say, you know, I have always wanted to do a Colossus Kitty story.
Hi, welcome to Spider-Man Command Central. My name's Mike Lackey. The way that we get you to purchase a Spider-Man comic book is the cover. That's the most important image. As you can see right here, we'll come up with a series of sketches, whatever the best one is. As you can see, they'll pencil the comic book cover, and from there, they'll apply the India ink to come up with a finished image. After that's complete, we'll come up with a colored version of the same artwork to produce the best visceral impact of this book.
When you read a favorite character, you always want to be him, and video game's one of the closest things to get there. I mean, you can actually be Wolverine and beat up that bad guy. Can't beat that sensation.
Now, let's swing into action with a super slick superhero tip for the Super Nintendo version of Spider-Man and X-Men, Arcade's Revenge. The arch-villain Arcade wants nothing better than to make Spidey and the X-Men permanent has-beens. This card is tough, but here are some Game Genie codes to help you through the game. Get those pens ready because here goes. For infinite lives for Spider-Man, enter the code C266-D51D. For infinite lives for Gambit, enter the code C26D-090A. And for infinite lives for Wolverine, Cyclops, and Storm, enter the code C2C2-D767. Arcade better watch it, or he'll be the has-been in this crowd.
There. Excuse me. Hello, Marvel.
Hey, Genesis owners, we haven't forgotten you. We've got an X-Men tip that'll help you with your stage select. Here's a code we know works because we use it all the time. Wait for the title screen, and when it shows press start button, press and hold button A, button C, and down on the pad, and press start. Take out the controller and put it into port number 2 on the Genesis. When Magneto appears, press start. Pick your difficulty level and superhero. Then, when the game starts, walk over to the control panels to the right. Each panel on the floor represents a stage in the game. When you get to a level you want, press down and C, and you'll go instantly to your new level. If you're running out of power, press start twice, and your health bar will refill. Awesome. I know there's a lot to remember, so here it is again. Wait for the title screen, and when it shows press start button, press and hold button A, button C, and down on the pad, and press start. Take out the controller and put it into port number 2 on the Genesis. When Magneto appears, press start. Pick your difficulty level and superhero. Then when the game starts, walk over to the control panels to the right. Each panel on the floor represents a stage in the game. When you get to a level you want, press down and C, and you'll go instantly to your new level. If you're running out of power, press start twice, and your health bar will refill.
Going behind the scenes is outrageous. I'm sure you recognize this from Psycho 1, 2, 3. In fact, Psycho 4 was shot right on this location. 3, 3, 3. Oh no, mother. Blood. It's the Norman Bates house. But it isn't. It's just a set. It's the ultimate fake out. And now, some guys that know all about fake outs.
Michael and Bird don't go head-to-head on the court anymore, but you can relive great moments in the privacy of your own living room without even breaking a sweat. There's a slick trick that'll give you extra time in a one-on-one game of Jordan versus Bird for Genesis. During the game, press start to pause play, just as the time hits 00:00 at the end of the 4th period. Then call a timeout. If you time this correctly, the game will continue with 36 more minutes. Repeat this trick when the time runs out again, and you'll continue with 100 more minutes. Remember that you can't press start when you're holding the ball. Now you can hit the court running and slam dunk the competition.
This is Scott Decker at Universal Studios, Florida. Stay tuned.
Don't touch that dial. Mortal Kombat, Tasmania, and the Turtles are coming right up.
It's showtime!
We're backstage at the Beetlejuice Graveyard Review, and here's a place where a lot of the illusions take place. It's the makeup trailer, and this isn't open to the public, but we have an appointment. Hey, babe, how's it going? All right, looking good. Wow, twins, my kind of place. Hey, Tom, how you doing today? I was just talking to the ladies there, hope you don't mind. This is Tom Bazor, the guy that brings everything together here. We've got Jason, King Kong, Frankenstein, and this is the guy that makes it all happen. Right now, we're going to show you how he makes cuts, slashes, open wounds, everything. Let's show him how, Tom, all right?
Alrighty.
That wasn't so bad. So how do I look? Ah! Whoa, I look bad enough to be a character in Mortal Kombat. Something's going on here. Gah, gah, gah. Well, that was a wild ride, and you know, that's exactly how they made the characters for the Mortal Kombat game. Check this out.
Hi, Paul Samolsky, Vice President of Creative and Product Development here at Acclaim Entertainment. Mortal Kombat, 6 different development locations around the world. This is the headquarters. And this is Rob Lingang, producer.
Hi, come on into the Combat Zone. This is where all 5 versions of Mortal Kombat came together. This is Stacy Hendrickson, associate producer on the job, pushing a few pixels on, yep, Johnny Cage today. A little of the Genesis version. This is James, Joe, and Jim, comparing and contrasting against the arcade version, confirming that everything we do is exactly like it was. That's Tyrone Miller in there, pushing a few pixels on Kano's forehead today.
The biggest challenge, obviously, was to try and recreate or bring the authenticity of the arcade game into the home. And with this game, it was a little more difficult than normal because you're dealing with digitized human forms, and the movement has to be exact. It has to be very fluid. You're dealing with, you know, kind of what we call a fantasy reality. You've got real human beings or digitizations of real human beings in a fantasy environment, and then we have to try and carry that over into all the different formats.
Williams actually took the actors, digitized them through a film shoot, capturing all the angles that they would need to later use in the game. When one character hits the other character, whether it's Johnny Cage going for an uppercut, we have to decide how long he's going to hold each frame, and as well how long the opponent is going to receive the brunt of that blow.
In case you haven't already heard, in the Genesis version of Mortal Kombat, there is one serious code you should know about. At the beginning of the game, when the Code of Ethics screen comes up, insert the code ABACABB, and that drops you into a mode that we call the A mode, the arcade mode. That allows you to play the game just as you would be playing the arcade game itself.
So what do you think? Is Mortal Kombat a winner or what? You bet it is. In fact, it's one of my favorite video games out there right now. No, those are real warriors. Now we're gonna meet a real warrior, the big guy, King Kong at Confrontation. Now this is a monkey with an attitude. He's tearing this town apart. This is the ride of a lifetime. Woo!
Now let's power up and conquer Tasmania for Genesis. Plug in 2 controllers. When the title screen appears, simultaneously press buttons A, B, C, and start on both controllers. Begin a regular game, and when you're ready to skip a level, press start to pause. Then, simultaneously press buttons A, B, and C, and you'll advance to the next level. To become invincible, press start to pause, and then press button B. To turn off the invincibility, press start to pause, then button A. Finally, to choose any level, press start to pause the game, then press button C. Numbers appear below the word pause. Use left and right on your control pad to choose any level. When you've reached the level you want, unpause and begin your game. Those mean green turtles on a half-shell sure know how to slice and dice their enemies. You, however, may need a little help. So here's a tip on how to choose any stage you like in the Genesis version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Hyperstone Heist. Wait for the Konami logo to appear. Then press button C, button B 2 times, button A 3 times, button B and button C before the logo disappears. Press start. Then, when the title screen appears, press button A, button B 2 times, button C 3 times, button B and button A. Press start again, and an option screen will appear that enables you to choose any stage.
That wraps up this edition of GamePro's PowerUp. I want to thank everyone here at Universal Studios Florida. We had a great time. This is Scott Decker reminding you, when in doubt, power up.